Hi, I'm building a house. Do you want to talk about it? And by building a house, I don't mean somebody is building a house for me. I mean, with the hands before you, am building a house. But also, it involves my dad's hands, and sometimes my mom's hands, and my little brother's hands, and occasionally my sister's hands, and the hands of just whoever feels like visiting me at the time. So bless those hands. But mostly, it's these hands, which you can catch if you want to tell me that women don't know how to build things. Here's how it came to pass. But first, an intro. Hi, I'm Tori and I'm building a Halfling House. My parents moved to Nauvoo, Illinois, and I saw all their farmland and I said, oh, pardon me, what if I own some of that? So I bought 9 acres off of them and I looked at that land and I said, it would be crazy if I just built an underground home here. So that's what I'm doing. I just want a little underground house that feels cozy and good. I've always wanted like an underground lair, but like a lair for a villain whose evil plan is nobody talk to me while I have snacks and to make art. Okay, what do I need to do to have an underground home? Dad started working on some plans. I worked on less quality plans. So I tried really hard. I made a mock-up. I took inspiration from the obvious and from Tudor homes, medieval style abode. I got an art degree, but it was in sculpture. I am not great at drawing perspective. I can draw things that I can see, but if you want me to get it out of my brain, no. No.
Well, that's enough of that. Let's get to the actual meat of the thing. This is the land. It's 9 acres of woods and streams just wiggling all through the whole thing. It's very beautiful and very dense. So a couple of things have to happen before we can actually build a house on here. One, we got to figure out where the house actually goes, because there's 9 acres. There's a lot of work to do to figure out where things should be. And so many of these spots were so beautiful. But if they don't have road access or a way for me to get electrical and water to them, this is a no-go. It's not happening.
At some point, I want a well, but it's about $15,000 to get a well in there. So a well is in the future. Right now, I'm not wealthy. I work on a sketch comedy show in Utah. I don't make the dollars.
But look, I was just so excited about this land. Look how beautiful it is. I could not stop talking about this. I was like those people, like when you meet them and
they're like, oh, hello, I'm Balfnafrna. Nice to meet you. Here's my child in picture form. And they show you their child on their phone. That's me with my house. Anytime I enter a social situation, it's well, great to meet you. Would you like to see my house? There is a certain amount of rabidity, and I don't care.
So this spot was too far off the road, so we had to go find somewhere else to put it. We had to go off-roading, which was delightful, especially because my sweet father really wants to have a dirt bike again, like he did when he was a kid, but my mother says no because she doesn't want him to die. Yeah, she might have a point.
So this is that big open field. And then this is where we think we're going to
This spot had good access for water and electric, but not for a concrete truck, so that was a no-go. Next!
Bed right there. Which I feel like is a pretty good view, right?
It was a pretty view, but it was too much in the woods. But this spot was kind of perfect, because you go up this hill, down a hill, up the other, then the house would be the top of the hill, looking down at what used to be the pond. And it's accessible by utilities and the concrete trucks, which is so important.
The road is here. The electrical is here, the water is here where the road is. So it was a lot easier to pull electrical and water from the road and go down the hill and up again. It still had to travel forever. So because it had to travel forever, man, the electrical, we'll talk about it later, but the electrical took some money out of my pocket.
So this was the final decision. This is the spot. Looking down through there is where there used to be a pond that washed out. Someday I will fix that pond, but up here on this hill, this is the house.
Anyway, so... Ooh, you gotta clear a space.
We had to clear all this land because the electrical and water lines had to go through here, and because it will look prettier that way. But let me tell you, Illinois has so much honeysuckle.
Let's talk about things I hate a lot. It's that there's thorns, tiny little thorns, and gigantic freaking thorns all over the place. And you won't expect it, and you'll just put your hand on one of them, and your life will end. This is a honey locust. It's the worst thing I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because I see now why Rapunzel's prince got his eyes poked out. This is insanity.
So clearing land is a lot of work and exhausting.
But it's fun though, right?
I picked myself. Look, I promise you, that was not the last time that happened. Anyway, we got smart and finally realized we're country people now. We own a tractor. Let's use the tractor to clear the land.
It's brilliant. We're geniuses. Thank you very much. The nice thing about an
underground home is under the ground stays at 56 degrees Fahrenheit at all times. So if we do this right, we won't have a crazy heating and cooling bill, and I love the sound of that.
Fat thorn in my shoe. Cool.
I wanted to be able to set the laser up over there and shoot on up through there.
Let me just emphasize how much this would not be done without my dad.
Like, I don't know anything about how to shoot a laser across a space so I can tell what the height is. Well, I know now, but only because Dad taught me. He's the only reason this is happening. So anyway, we finished pulling the trees out of the woods. We got everything cleared, and this is the spot where the house is going to sit. Look at that.
Come on through, Dad.
Whoa! Yeah! And now that the spot's picked, we've got to mow all the grass down so that we can mark out our lines for the foundation.
Do you want to talk about my house some more? Okay, great idea. How wonderful of you to ask.
We planned to have the house sit at the top of the hill, so it would look like the house was the top of the hill.
See right there, Tori? See how right where I mowed? That's almost 3 feet off the ground. It's dropped off that much. So what my thought is, we cut into this 3 feet. That dirt becomes your berm, okay? Anyway, if we dig down that deep, your doorway is about this height. It just flows off down.
Now I know what you're asking. Tori, my love, my poor one, how can you afford to do all this?
I am insanely frugal. I have saved my money for a very long time for this purpose. So I saved up, and said it's time to build a house. Let's go. Am I running out of money? So I did we cleared a lot of land, but we finally picked the spot. In the next video, we're going to do the foundation. So buckle up, strap in, get yourself a snack. It's going to be real good. And by real good, I mean it's just going to be 30 minutes of me digging.